Yo. What is going on, guys? We're having a fantastic day. So, over some news for the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple of things I definitely want to go over. 2 more pre-draft visits, names to look at, some Jeffrey Lurie interview type stuff that we're going to go over since he had his interview. And, we got some news on special teams. We got a few things cooking right now. Even a receiver that's still, willing to be traded from a team that's going to pay most of his salary. So there's a few things definitely going on. I'm pretty excited. So let's talk about all of it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Boy Joey SHAKESQUAD coming, guys, with another video on the Eagles as usual. Very exciting to say the Eagles have, I think they're at their 7th and 8th pre-draft visits as of right now. 2 more players, 2 cornerbacks on the pre-draft visits are scheduled to visit the Philadelphia Eagles. Very excited. Kelee Ringo from Georgia, Emmanuel Forbes from Mississippi State. I mean, 2 guys that you can get between the first and second rounds. Emmanuel Forbes, an interesting one, a guy that looks like he's, kind of gets beat on, sometimes in coverage, but he's got that catch-up speed. I think he gets in the hands, gets through the arms of the receiver very well. He's got that pushback mentality. I think he had like 12 to 14 picks. Got really good instinct, ball hawk. I really do like him. I just, like I said, I think at 62, 64, wherever the Eagles are with that second round pick, I feel like could be there. Could be, Emmanuel Forbes could be a realistic option right now for the Philadelphia Eagles, and you never know. So good to see him. And then obviously Kelee Ringo from Georgia. Obviously, big frame cornerback, uses upper body, kind of boxing, receivers out and, getting his hands on the football. I think he does a really good job. He's got really good lateral movement. And with Kelee Ringo, this is what fans have kind of, or at least fans, this is what Eagle fans or, friends of mine that kind of talk to me about Kelee Ringo if he's even drafted by the Eagles, okay? Wouldn't it be a bad thing for him to know 2 positions? And obviously Kelee Ringo playing safety, I think as a downhill type tackler, I think he'd be fantastic for the Eagles to cross-train him a little bit, because I really do like having corners with safety background, safety with corner background, something like that, and kind of maybe cross-training some guys. And I think Kelee Ringo might be, I don't know if you're going to draft Kelee Ringo in the first round. I just don't like the fact that you're just going to he's going to redshirt his first year. You have Slay for 2 more years. You have Bradbury for 3 more years. He's not going to get playing time, unless, God forbid something happens. But, so I always kind of imagine like, well, if the Eagles get him with the second first-round pick, I don't think they're going to get him after that. I think they're going to be out of range unless they move up from this, from 62, 64, wherever they're at with the second-round pick. I think they're going to lose him regardless if they don't pick him up with that second first-rounder. So if you're going to draft him with that second first-round pick, you got to at least try to do something with him. I think more than just playing cornerback. I think they should at least try to cross-train him at safety. I mean, cross-training players is not a bad thing, but I think he should definitely do double duty if he's in the offseason. I would just give it a shot. I mean, just an experiment to see what he could do because of his size and what he could do. So, and this is just an opinion. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I don't want this to turn to an Andre Dillard situation where you're going to draft a corner in the first round. He's going to redshirt. This is a very important draft right now. If you're going to draft a guy in the first round that's going to sit on the bench or not even play at all, what's the point of even drafting him in the first round if he's not going to hit the field? Now, if we sign Chauncey and, Bradbury wasn't here, then okay, it makes a lot of sense. But you never know. Ringo could move down the draft a little bit. You never know. Most people in the comment section are like, oh, he'll get drafted here. He ain't going past here. You never know what could happen during the draft. We've been surprised by guys sliding up or sliding down, but, that's just the main thing of the draft. You never know. That's how exciting it is when certain players can, get to your spot in the draft. And you're like, damn, we could draft this guy right now. And Nakobe Dean was a 3rd-round pick. Things like that. Just you never know what could happen. The Eagles don't have 4th, 5th, 6th-round picks this year, so yeah, I think Emmanuel Forbes would be a more realistic option for the Eagles because I think he'll be in that area, middle to late 2nd-round pick. I think that will be it. But second-round pick should be on the field too, unless there's a plan behind this right now, because you have Greedy Williams back there. I'm glad they're getting more depth because, Avonte Maddox is hurt a lot, got hurt twice last year. Don't really like the health where it's going. And obviously his contract's up in a couple years, and and they just redid Slay's contract for 2 more years, Bradbury for another 3. So, the Eagles can maneuver and get some cornerbacks in the building. Drafting one of these guys would be great. It's just drafting a corner as a first rounder when you're already kind of set at your starting cornerback position. No hole there. Depth, definitely need more depth. I think they should at least add one more body with Greedy Williams, but we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think about Kelee Ringo, and do you think he should cross-train if they do draft him? Because I'm just saying, guys, you draft a guy in the first round, he's got to play on the field. He's got to play. It's just going to be a wasted body, and you're taking away what he can potentially be with your team. Let him go to another team where they're going to use him. If you're not going to use him here, and there's really no point. That's how I feel about drafting guys in the first round, which when you already have that spot kind of covered already, that's just one of the instances I kind of look at with both of those guys. But I'm really glad bringing in 2 really good cornerbacks, and excited to see where they go and see how much interest the Eagles actually have in drafting one. Now, we know that the Philadelphia Eagles put in a request to the league that to wear the number 0, and everyone, when this news came out, everyone was like, oh my God, they're going to draft Christian Gonzalez, right? That's what's going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. I don't know why they cared so much about that number. Maybe there's a player on the team that wants number 0. Calvin Ridley was the first player that got number 0 in history, obviously, because they never had this number, or maybe they had it a long time ago. I have no idea. I hate the new number rule. I can't stand any of it, because when you draft a player and they're stuck with a number, and you buy that jersey, you're wasting $130, $140 on a jersey. Then the next year they could change their number, and then you're screwed. You're screwed after that. So that's why I can't stand this whole number thing. I just can't stand it, changing these numbers whenever they want. It ruins, people to keep jerseys. There's going to be people that are there. Jersey sales will never go down, but it will stop people from buying jerseys, because these guys could change their numbers whenever they want. And it's getting to that annoying part now where I'm just not a fan of it too much. But that's the news. Obviously not Christian Gonzalez. Obviously, if Bradbury wasn't here, there was a big chance, but you never know. I still think he'll go top 10 regardless. So it should be really, really interesting. Now, Jeffrey Lurie had his press conference and obviously talked about Jalen Hurts, and he's never seen such a mature player for his age at 24, and he will be here long term. So it sounds like this deal is going so well. If they really didn't say, if Lurie and Nick and some of these coaches didn't really, and even Howie Roseman didn't say that, we want him long term, we're going to get him in here long term. It seems like if they didn't say that, the negotiations weren't really going well. I don't think, they would go too far to say that much about Jalen Hurts, but very glad to see that it is working out. And, Jeffrey Lurie said, quote unquote, he's going to be here for a long time. I can't wait to work with Jalen for a long time. So, Jalen Hurts is already at the NovaCare complex. Just that Super Bowl didn't faze him just this offseason, and what he's going to do to bring this team back together to go for another one, to get to that spot again is great. But I think the most exciting news that everybody was kind of waiting for was obviously the Kelly Green jerseys. And Jeffrey Lurie did talk about that they are coming back. We will be wearing them sometime this year, and man, I can't wait. We've already saw the helmets with the new Eagles word art on it, which we knew that was going to look great. And I don't like it, the midnight green, that word art, but the word art and that new one, it looks fantastic. Kind of, to see what these jerseys are going to look like, how modern they're going to look. Are they going to look more old school? They're going to have a modernish look to it in Kelly Green. So be really excited to see, just what I think we've been waiting for this for a long time. We've been waiting years for this, and I'm glad they're coming back. And, the Eagles could be wearing these every year, which is great. You know what I mean? It's great history from wearing these over the years. And, it's what the fans wanted. I'm glad. I'm just hoping these pre-orders can come this summer for these jerseys. Hopefully I don't have to wait until, God knows what they're going to charge for those jerseys. Who knows at this point? They might charge a little bit extra because they're Kelly Green. So you never know. So let me know in the comment section below, what jersey in Kelly Green are you going to get? Should be very interesting. And for me as well. And Lurie had a good press conference. We haven't talked to him in a while, so it was nice to see his press conference and stuff like that. So more news out in the front, wide receiver wise, just going around. This isn't connected to the Eagles at all, but it looks like Allen Robinson, the Rams are still trying to trade him as of right now, and they are going to pay some of his salary. So his contract as of right now is a base salary of $10 million, which probably no team wants to pay because it didn't really play that well last year. I don't even know if he got even injured last year. But with Allen Robinson, I think there's a good part where now, hey, he's still on. I think this is the last year of. I think he's got one more year left on his contract. That's not voidable in 2024. So he's still got 2 years. His cap number this year is $18 million. It's a lot. $18 million next year in 24 as well. And like I said, he makes $10 million this year, $10 million next year. So if the Eagles want a number 3, there's one available. What are they going to want for him? It really can't be much. This trade probably wouldn't take that much to get done. I'm as much as I'm hearing all these great things about Quez Watkins, Nick saying, it doesn't say on the stat sheet, but this and this. And I'm not saying that Quez Watkins doesn't open the field. There's just some issues with, he's made some mistakes. He had a down year this year. Beginning of the year was great, and then it kind of it went downhill. Understand that maybe it was the shoulder grade 2 sprain. It was something else. I don't really know. But we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if the Eagles have more interest in another number 3. I would give this man some competition. I'm sorry, but give him competition. I don't want that guy to be comfortable in that position going into this offseason. I really don't. In training camp, OTAs, joint practices, preseason, you name it. I want someone to make him work for it. And I think that's with every position, not just with him. No one should be. Devontae, everybody. Nobody should be comfortable with where they're at. They should always be striving to get better. And, that there could be a guy that comes up, to take your job away. Even the undrafted free agent pool, if they bring in some type of receiver that, is making a little bit of noise that doesn't get drafted and maybe should have, you never know what could happen there. So the Allen Robinson thing is obviously still out there, and we'll just see, what happens with it. We're just going to give it a shot, and, maybe the Eagles take a shot at it. We'll see. Other news for the Philadelphia Eagles, it looks like the Eagles are trying to make some changes at the punter position. Thank freaking God. Right? Thank God. Let me read this. The Eagles had some interest in free agent punter Jake Bailey. NFL sources said former Pro Bowler signed with the Dolphins. Not exactly a shock the team is looking to upgrade at punter with Aaron Sippo's struggles, but shows due diligence and that a change could come. You know what change I would like? Michael Clay getting booted out of Philadelphia. That would be my change because I didn't like the blocking schemes. I didn't like how he got a raise for doing absolutely nothing last year. He did nothing with special teams last year. If we're talking about the biggest weakness for the Philadelphia Eagles, it's special teams. Aaron Sipos and that other dumb idiot that we signed that used to be like an Tennessee punter. My God. Oh, the ball hit the wire. Oh, and then Sipos kicks right in the middle to Kansas City. I got to relax. But Aaron Sipos was literally given the job like a couple years ago, and he really hasn't had any competition. They signed him early, like a few years ago. Like it was after the season was over a couple years ago. I forgot. I think he's been here 2-3 years. I forgot how long. But they got to replace him. He's just horrible. I think Jake Elliott is the best thing about our special teams. Other than that, I don't mind Boston Scott kick returns, but I'm not like, oh my God about it. And Britton Covey, I think, has shown a lot of flashes, but I don't like the blocking schemes. I don't like who they're putting on special teams for blocking because I feel like this guy never has room to run with the football in his hands. And if he does, Covey has had some learning curves. He's run into, crash test Covey. He likes running into the opposite of open space. He likes running in the groups of people. And he's got to protect himself. He's not the biggest body guy that's out there. You know what I mean? So Barrios was a guy I actually really wanted because he could play receiver and he could, do special teams. And I think he's a little bit bigger than Covey. But, I'm good with Covey. But give Devin Allen a chance. Do something. I mean, Devin Allen hasn't played NFL snap in 6 years. Just give him a shot. You know what I mean? Give somebody a shot. They moved up, Covey 3 times. Then they had to force him to stay on the roster or they had to keep him on the practice squad. So they kept him on the roster the whole year. Devin Allen's a track star Olympian. Why are you not giving him a chance. I still don't get why Devin Allen signed a 3-year deal with the Eagles to, like, I know it's not for a lot of money, but why even have him if you don't even give him a chance? And stop putting Devontae Smith back there. Stop doing, and it's not stupid for situational football where you have to be guaranteed to get a return and you want to put Devontae Smith back there, Quez Watkins. That's fine, I guess. Just make sure these guys don't get hurt, because all it takes is one hit, especially on Devontae Smith. He's got chicken legs, pretty much. I mean, you snap it, it's done. Like, that's all it's going to take with him. So that's all I really got to say about that. And really, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We talked about the Kelly Green jerseys coming out, Jeffrey Lurie with his press conference, Jalen Hurts, and how just how happy they are with him. And guys, we have to be very thankful we're not in QB hell anymore, because I'm really glad this deal is getting done. I'm excited to see what the numbers are going to be. Kelee Ringo, Emmanuel Forbes are coming for pre-draft visits. If you draft a corner in the first round, what are you going to do with him? What are you going to do if you draft Ringo in the first round with that second first-round pick? I have no idea, because I'm not trying to redshirt nobody this year. I need some players. I need some blue-chip players starting on this field, okay? I think that's what's really important. So we talked about Allen Robinson, new punter, changing the punter and special teams, which is a good thing. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the news for the day. We're going to see if the Eagles still have interest in, some free agents. You have some guys still out there for the defensive line. They can always add more talent. You know what I mean? Keanu Neal, I know the Eagles had him for a free agent visit. Quentin Jefferson is another one that played for the Seahawks with Desai last year, had 5.5 sacks at 29 years old. So there's still some free agents out there for the Eagles that will probably be very cheap to sign. And just give it a shot. See what they could do here. Be really interesting. Obviously, we've been hearing a lot about the Jeffrey Simmons stuff. Kevin Byard from Tennessee. We don't know if they'll actually make a move like that. But it's interesting that, who knows? Think of it last year, guys. We signed Hassan Reddick in free agency, and then that was pretty much it. We didn't really do much until the draft. That's just the reality of it. It was a slow strategic free agency last year, and then we really hit the draft, and we just got off, man. We were just like, damn. This is kind of crazy. So that's all I got to say, guys. If you guys enjoyed the 17 minutes of just news in general and you want to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe. It is free, and we cover the Eagles every single day. Haven't liked the video, please like the video. It does help out the channel a lot. The support has been real, and I want to thank everybody for subscribing, and I don't say it enough, but I want to thank everybody through all of what we do here. We're all in this together, even if we have different opinions about this team. At the end of the day, we want this team to reach another championship. So very happy, and thank you. I take none of this for granted. So I want to thank all you guys. I love all you guys. Pause, but you know what I mean. So you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.